Wow, Despicable Me 3 toys are about. I'm finding some really crazy things. Look at that. There's Gru holding a gun there. And some crazy, crazy minions. A very war-weary Mr. Hammer is standing by. A rubber chicken is standing by. And it always helps to start off with a drink like this. Ah, that's much better. Warning, please do not attempt to replicate the toy destruction you see in this video at home. Leave this sort of manic work to the professionals. In this very despicable Dark Side episode, you're going to see some toys that are remarkably close to the real thing. It's very scary to see the Dark Side trying so hard to impress. The first toy we will peruse and destroy is this Despicable Me 3 set of buses. They look very rotten indeed, and this set of buses cost me $10. That minion's telling us here something. Look at that there. Best gift for children. Even though the box here says Despicable Me 3, these toys were coming out in Australia when the Minions film was on. You can see the artwork on the back there. The artwork is so often more impressive than what's inside. It's showing me there these toys have got a pullback action. And it's quite curious because I see lots of people buying this rubbish and I don't understand why. I will unbox this with the rubber chicken. Yay! Go chicken, go! I know the rubber chicken actually disturbs a whole ton of people, but guess what? The rubber chicken actually works in unboxing. It is an amazing unboxer of toys. Just getting in nice and close here. I just want to have a feel of one of these. Oh man, that is nasty business. I always thought the Disney car stuff was bad. Despicable Me is, I think it's Universal Studios. The one thing about it is it's not Disney. The whole Minion franchise thing, I'd hate to think how much that's worth. I think these buses are all the same. Man, they are bad. Wow. Maybe Universal Pictures can do a bit of cleaning up of the despicable toys that I'm seeing about. And complete rubbish, I can tell you. Complete rubbish. Okay, I'll dispense with the boxing and the chicken over there. Oh, do these buses have a pullback action like we see on the back of the box? Let's see how they go. Okay, here we go. Whoa! Well, some of them have worked and some over there haven't. I'll do one of my infamous in-hand appraisals here. You can see what's going on the artwork there. I know some people like this. Look at that sticker Friday on the front there. We're not surprised, are we? Just shockingly made these things. And it gives no satisfaction to a child. Artwork across the top. That's what the underneath looks like, and I think the most dangerous aspect to these toys, and I see it every time, look at that, look how easy the wheel comes off there, and then you've got that part free, that goes down the child's throat, child is dead. Welcome to the dark side. It's horrible to say that, but look at that. How in the hell do these toys keep being sold in the country where I live? Where is the Department of Fair Trading or the government agencies who are meant to clean up this rubbish out of the stores? That's the big question I've got. I know someone who doesn't mince of rubbish like this, Mr. Hammer. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, which one of these buses is going to blow? 1 bus down, 2 bus down, 3 bus down, 4 bus down, 5 bus down, and 6 bus down! Yeah! One bus down, 2 bus down, 3 bus down, 4 bus down, 5 down, and 6 bus. Well, I must say, Mr. Hammer, you've been very despicable here. I'm trying to do Gru's voice, but it's sounding more like FPS Russia. Okay, look at that. 2 buses stuck on Mr. Hammer there. It made very easy work pulling down these buses, the old Mr. Hammer. The springs can be seen now and all the little bits and bobs. R2-D2 came in for a flying visit again. I don't know why. Gives me a Disney tag, doesn't it? That's why. The interior of the bus can be seen here. All in all, very despicable work indeed. Strange things indeed. They had a nice silver inside bit. There it is there. Probably the best bit on that horrible toy. And one of the little pullback motors has survived here. I don't know how, but sometimes people like looking at those little bits there. But as we saw earlier on, most of these didn't work out of box, and in a strange way, I'm not surprised at all. Welcome to the dark side. The next item in this very despicable video, it's a strange one. I like strange. It's Despicable Me 3 / Minions, because we want to tag everything, don't we? bubblegum, but we've got a Spider-Man minion there. Captain America's down here. It's like having a go at everything, isn't it? Classic sort of dark side fighter. On the back of the box tells you how the battery's in and all that blah blah. Quite bland on the back, but the front is where it's at. And this bubble gun cost me $7. I will unbox this. I'm curious to see if it works. Oh, chicken's done a nice job there. Okay, bubble gun's free. Now it is free. There's actually some other peculiar things to look at here. Get a better look at what's going on there. It's going to either make you laugh or it's going to make you cry. I'll tell you what, I know I'm $7 poorer for it. And the bubble gun's got a surprise on the other side. Dun dun dun. Whoever that is there. Is it a Wonder Woman minion? I hope so, because it gives me a nice tag. I cracked open the battery compartment. I like toys that take double A's, not those stupid triple A's, and if I get the polarity right, I'll get this working. At least this toy's got a screw for the battery compartment. Most dark side toys don't. And I got to crack open some of the bubble juice. Thank goodness it says here, not for drinking. I reckon if you had a drink of this, you'd die. I'll use that screwdriver just to crack the top of that plastic on top. Yeah. And then it's a case of screwing that in there. $7. How much is it really worth, do I think? I think it's only worth about $3, mind you. Because it's a knockoff, it's actually worth nothing. If I pull the trigger, what's going to happen? And I'll have to prime it up first. Oh, no. Oh, what is that? That's highly annoying. It's very, very loud. Oh, we're actually working. We've got bubbles. We've got bubbles. We've also got a very, very annoying tune, which I can't work out what it is. No, there'll be some people highly impressed with that. I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm going to call a little friend to deal with this one. And I'm pretty sure everyone knows my little friend in. He's called Mr. Hammer. Busted. Smashing work, Mr. Hammer, and you got a free clean as well. Well, there's one bubble show which isn't like anyone else, I hope. Not a very nice toy. It broke apart really easily. It's very shardy plastic. It snaps far too easily, as you can see there. But it's probably worthwhile taking a look at this component here, because we may learn something. I'm not sure whether you've ever played with bubble machines. It's a bit of an art form in some parts of the world, probably more so in Europe, bubble shows. That's the impeller. That would be the fan that drives the air to go and form the bubble in a sense. The electric motor is down there, which drives the impeller. This here is the sound chip nonsense that was making that strange sound. I couldn't work out the song. It's attached to a speaker. And I think here was the pump for the fluid, to get the fluid when you pull the trigger. I might just have to crack this open here carefully to see what's going on inside. I was going to use Mr. Hammer, but he tends to not be a very soft touch, and hopefully in these videos we learn something along the way. Well, I like to teach you something, or else I get flagged for having fun. Got those little screws out, and we'll open this up carefully. Oh, there's a whole bunch of gears and things in here. Well, there we go. It's like a little gear pump. The motor must have two ends, because it drives the pump on this side and it drives the impeller on the other. Well, even I'm learning stuff here. I'm glad I'm pulling this apart. And if I pull, there it goes there. It's gone now. I've just done a bit of rebuilding here. It's quite clever, but quite simple. I like simple. In here, the tubing gets squashed by these parts here as it spins around, and that delivers the fluid up into the right part of this bubble machine. I'm actually a little bit curious to look at this impeller in the way it's driving onto that motor there. Remember, the impeller is there generating air. The other side was basically generating gears to the pump. And if I open this up here, we'll see it. Yeah, so we are. So the motor was doing two things. It's got an impeller on one end, and it's got a gear to do driving on the other. Yes, bubble machines is almost like a science behind them, and also a science behind some of the specialised fluids that people use. I was curious having a look inside that. Let's move on to the next item. Well, after quite some tidy up, nice clean of the bench, we'll move on to these items here. All this is knockoff stuff at the front here. Little pins like this. Sometimes when you buy these items, they'll offer you DVDs as well. That's the Minions film there, but hey, it didn't stop there. Look at that, the Kiss Scooby-Doo one. Angry Birds movie, mind you, why would you want to get a knockoff of that? And also, Thomas the Great Race. In fact, it's very despicable to be offering up ripped movies when you buy these toys. Most people, I think they struggle when they see this. They look at packaging that looks fairly convincing. You can see how much I paid for this. It's a little bit cheap versus what you would pay for the real toys, but there's something missing on this that you would see on a licensed product, and maybe I'll just grab the item up here, which is actually a licensed Despicable Me product. In our lives, we all need a Despicable Me bath squirter set, don't we? I picked this up, there we are, Aldi. It was $8. And where you've got to look for is a Universal Studio emblem. Oh, I think I found it right there. And what's peculiar is even on this real product here, that's a tiny thing to look for when it comes to the whole packaging, isn't it? Initially when I first saw that, I thought, wow, that could so easily be in a dark side markets and you wouldn't know whether it's real or not, would you? I have got some real toys here. This is like the latest version of toys as I'm making this video. They're basically like shotguns or trash pack versions of Despicable Me critters. Pretty sure they're made by Moose Toys. The back of the box looks like this. There's a whole ton of them to collect, but down the bottom there is what we want to see. Universal. Now I'm going to make a prediction. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to work this out. This looks like a very awesome toy. This will be ripped off by the dark side. It's only going to take a matter of time. The amount of shotguns that were being knocked off was horrendous. It was really, really chronically bad, and they were stupidly expensive as well. But I'll tell you what, these real Minion sets look very awesome. But let's get back on track. This video isn't about the real Despicable Me toys. No, no, no! This video is about the dark side toys that look like this. Let me do a little bit of housekeeping here. Push these aside. We sort of talked about those. We might look at those next after these. You can see what I've got here. There's a set of, what is it, 4 Minions. It costs $6. Well, there's another set of 6 critters. That costs $6. So straight away you can see the dark side and pricing going on. Another set of 6 critters, and it costs $7. Does it make any sense? No. And here's a set of 4 critters that cost $6. When I purchased these knockoff toys, the Minions film was all the rage. Despicable Me 3 film was all the rage as I'm making this film. Normally for a Minion figure, the Despicable Me figure that size in Australia, you'd be up for between $8 to $10. It sort of depends where you're buying it from. But the one thing about all of these is how good the packaging presents. There would be some people who may have been caught out with this. Mind you, I think the real catch here is the price. And if you do look carefully around and scrutinise them a bit closer, they're a little bit rough nut in the finish. Maybe where it starts to fall apart is when you scrutinise the artwork on the back of this box here. Those pictures aren't that crisp, they're a little bit furry. And also the strange read down there. There's also a shouting dark side. Mind you, what's reading along here is the way Minions talk about the only word missing in there is the word bananas. I was going to use a rubber chicken to open up these, but I'm actually worried that I'm going to smash up some of the figures, so the chicken is fired. And as boring as this sounds, I will come along and open up these boxes in a conventional method. Yeah, so I'm a bit curious about this one. There's that strange smell you get so often with these toys. Okay, the bases are all flying off here. And I'll just get a bit of a hand appraisal of this. It's got some bendy bits on there. This isn't the lowest of the low end of the dark side. This is actually up a few rungs. I shouldn't say like that. Wasn't that Gru's girlfriend or something? Or was that the evil one from Minions? I can't tell. I know you'll tell me. Yeah, look at that. It's actually got softy bits as well. There's a lot of effort being put into this, and I'm a little bit surprised. I would say these are direct rips off the real toys. They're just a little bit too good. I'm going to keep one of these packs as a good example of the dark side doing its best, but I will open up all of the rest. I like that crackling sound, don't you? Wow. I don't get to see these and some of the bases are stuck. I want to just see the Gru thing very quickly here. Although the head's a little bit wonky there, isn't it? Very unusual, these ones. I'm a bit scared when it's looking this good. Banana and a Ninja Chopper one at that. These are far less impressive once you get them out of box. It's like that with toys. The boxing often bloats it right up. I've got some double ups of some of these. In fact, many of these I have doubled up. You'll know which films these are from because I know nothing. I'm sure these have been ripped from the real toys. She didn't fit on her stand. Welcome to the dark side. I've got one over there with some coconut shells in the appropriate area. The golfing one, I'm sure that's Grooves Misses. I hope I'm right there. Some ukulele playing minions. And of course we've got, is it a mad scientist or a chef? I can't tell. Take a nice in-hand appraisal of one of these toys and you can start to see how well it's been finished off. There is a very curious thing to read here. Now, it's not often I'm going to ask you to study a minion's backside. Take a very careful read there of what's going on there. I'm having trouble interpreting it. I can see a big number 9 stamped in the middle there. If I move it around, it may be seen. It's trademark and something copyright uni, like Universal. Something Thinking Something Toys China. It might be Thinkway Toys China. Number 9 there as well. These are spectacular knockoffs. And I'm thinking back to the other Despicable Me video I've done, the Dark Side one. And I think these are just, pretty tough, sort of, in a sense, tough plastic, but robust would be the best word to say. Let me see if I can just pick the pants off this minion. Now, either I'm going to poke myself here while I probe the minion's backside, or this part is going to come free like I want to show you. But one thing about this is not breaking free easily. Now remember, we are dealing with a non-licensed illegal toy here. I'm just showing you that sometimes, some of them, they go to great lengths to make something, half decent. I shouldn't say the word decent, should I? But put it this way, I've seen a lot worse than this in my dark side dealings. One of those things my wife will say, "What did you do today down in your garage, love?" And I'll say I was dicking around with the back of a minion. Okay, nearly got these pants off. And of course, being a minion, the pants flew off with high velocity. I've just stuck it back on here to show you how it does come apart. It's being fairly well glued. Yes, I remember this style from before. It's that sort of plastic. It's not rigid plastic, it's soft. It's very hard to destroy. It'd be very hard to blow this sort of minion up. I know this sort of plastic, it's really tricky. And I think the tongue is also another separate piece. Let's see if I can rip his tongue out next. The problem for me is I haven't got any Despicable Me band-aids. If it goes wrong here and I do probe myself, and I should be able to just leave that tongue out. It's a matter of just hitting the right spot here, and we should be able to... Yeah, there we go. The tongue is free. Yeah, there we go. You ever seen a minion tongue all by itself? Well, there it is. Looks like his backside, actually. And we've got him down to his essential components. That is his top half. Mind you, you can see the mould seam there. His tongue, and of course his backside pants. And I suppose if you were bored on a rainy day, you could go and get the tongue from that other minion and stick it into another one if you wanted to. I'm sure it's going to fit. Ooh, it fits nicely, but hey, that might be a little bit too much for some, considering we're dealing with dark side fun. The groove figure, I'm sure this has been ripped off a real toy. It's a little bit out of alignment there with the neck. You can see the painting of this figure is also off there. His scarf paint is coming across to his jacket there. If we look at his gun here, there's a bit of the flashing I've left from the mould is still there. That shouldn't be there, that piece. Take that away. But it's remarkably nice looking. Once again, the word nice is wrong. It's got number 12 here. I'm just seeing if it's got a licensing bit of biffo on this groove. Just taking a look around at the moment, I can't see it. It is quite surprising how well these are made and finished off. There's nice soft weapons on this. Okay, is that a coat hanger on that, is it? Is that part of the story? You can tell me, I can't remember. What's strange about this one here is it does say number 6, but I haven't got the info on his backside like I saw on the other minion. A bit dark-sidey all over the shop really, although they present very well under close inspection. The weapon's nice and soft. It's unusual to see them taking that effort in dark side stuff. It's normally made with the cheapest sort of quality plastic that snaps away. The painting's a bit riff-raff. The banana detailing looks good. I can't see any licensing. That's number 8, this one. Nice and soft on the top here as well. Bananas. This is the last minion I'll take a close-up look at. It's been well finished off. The weapons are nice and soft. The arms are soft as well. Look at that there. There's a bit of flashing there that shouldn't be there. That piece there, just take it away. This is very dark-sided, but there's not much on this, which looks bad. There's number 4 on that one there. Looking at his backside there. I can't see any of the licensing blah blah. Spectacular dark side. It's a shame YouTube doesn't have smell-o-vision, because there's always this very strong chemical smell, and there's a grimy feel to these as well. It's like when they've pulled them from the mold or whatever they do in the factory, they haven't ever cleaned them off properly. It's a very common thing that I noticed with these knockoff toys. And I think the way I'm going to deal with these minions, to get rid of them, the blender's going to struggle with them, to blow them up is going to be near impossible. I think we'll give them a lick of fire. Oh, it's a beautiful day in the sunshine here. It's going to be so sad to see these despicable figures burn. And one wonders what noxious fumes will develop from the fire. There's something about fire, it tends to sort out the most despicable things ever. There you go, I've created some carbonised minions there. Look very narky, don't they? And as I truck along here, you can just see how the flamethrower has pulled these nasty dark-side Despicable Me critters down. Gru's not looking too happy there, and whoever was beside him has turned into a carbon critter. Maybe if I turn this one over here, we might see what it used to be like. Well, then again, we might not. Mr. Flamethrower, a very despicable tool indeed. When I think about Despicable Me knockoffs, you think about minions, you think about plush toys, they seem to be dime a dozen. I've stuck on some flashing pendants there. You're paying maybe $3 to $5 for that. They're also knockoff. I mean, there's just everything really. A Captain America is a minion, hey? How much do they pay for this rubbish? Oh, it's right here. $9. Thank you, China. No licensing info on this, not even on the minion's backside. And I think this is the very, very scary end of it when you start to see all the plushes. It's not well made. It's not overstuffed. It's just a rotten build. So often I'll have a suction cup, which to me shouts dark side. Maybe you'll have something to say on that. But because I've just had a nice flamethrower finished with some other dark side stuff, I think this plush is about to get very, very hot. Well, let me clear away some of these fried up minions, and I'll put Captain America minion, who's going to be a crispy critter really shortly. And it's the plush toys that are really scary when they're on fire. Let's see if this minion can jump up and run when it gets hot. That minion is down. Minion is down. Those plush toys, nasty, nasty business when they're on fire. And from that senseless carnage with the flamethrower, what do you think I've created here? Ooh, it looks like a little bit of minion art. Right up the end, I'm going to throw something at you. I just need to know who's watching these videos and who's not, although I'm sort of very aware of some people who aren't. This set here is one of the strangest, well, I'm not going to say Thomas & Friends because it doesn't say that there, although it looks like the #1 engine there, although there's no face, and you can see that better on the picture there. If I show you the back of the box, you can see I paid $15 for this, and it's the latest style of track. is this the dark side being a bit super sneaky now. And I'm also seeing this one, which reminded me of Hot Wheels, and look at the cars in here. Someone said to me, if cars have eyes, it's ripping into Disney cars. I paid $13 for that, so do you think that's ripping off Cars, or is it ripping off Hot Wheels? Do you think that set there is ripping off Thomas the Tank? I can tell you the first thing that popped into my mind when I saw that train set there and those cars, but how do you see it? In a legal case, do you think they can get away with that? I'd love you to tell me.